I'm about to embark on one of the craziest challenges ever been done on YouTube. I'm building 100 programming projects, one every single week. I'm going to start slow so you guys can keep up and we'll build it together. Here are the first 10 projects I've picked. And if you have one that you want me to build, drop down in the comments below. This is day one. Let's get into it. Day one is a weather app. It's useful because it teaches you about APIs and graphic user interface. For the level, I'd say this one is between easy and intermediate. So what I'm gonna do right now is just run it just to show you guys what it does and what it looks like. So I run it there, and then this is what it looks like. So we can see that this is the GUI, an entry box, the get weather button, and obviously filters run here. So let me just use this and just type in like a random city, and it shows the weather in that city. So I'm just gonna say Lagos, for example. Actually, no. Lagos, for example, and then it shows me that one as well. So let's just say if you enter a city that doesn't exist, so I'll just say Marvel is, and then obviously since Marvel doesn't exist, it doesn't show me. And then you can use this filter as well. So if I click on windy, it's gonna show me like countries or cities that are actually windy at the moment. So rainy, for example, New York, Mumbai, Bangkok. Sunny, for example, all these ones. Something to mention is that these filters are optional. You don't have to do it. Once you have this running and working, that's your first project done. So I'm going to speed run the explanation of the code right now. So first of all, you need to import CustomTkinter and then request. CustomTkinter is in charge of the GUI, so everything you're seeing, the buttons, the labels, everything you're seeing is CustomTkinter. And then request, this is essentially what allows my app to talk to the internet and obviously grab live data from the internet. So to install them, you just need to run this in your terminal. So you can just copy and paste that, and then it should work. Next are the global variables I set. We don't need to get into this one right now because obviously I'm just going to explain how it's being used in the code. And then obviously we have the GUI setup. You don't really need to know this one. Just know that this is what makes the entry box appear here, the text appear here, the filter buttons and all that. It's just basic GUI configurations. If you want to know more about this, I'm just going to link the CustomTkinter documentation in the description below. So what I'm going to do right now is just keep the explanation of this function and this function, and that's because it's just better to show you guys how it works rather than just explaining every line of code. This function is in charge of how the results are rendered in the sidebar. So when a city is passed to this function, if there's no city, we just say no match found. So let's just say if you try to find like a country that's cold, if there's nothing, it says no match found. If there is something, for example, let me just say sunny, you can see that it displays the emoji first, which is this one, then the name of the city, then the temperature, and then the font as well. This font is just configuration as well, so you don't need to worry about that. This function is responsible for fetching the current weather for all these 20 cities here. How this works is that when I click on a filter, it passes that filter to this function. I then get the current weather for all the 20 cities, and then I use the filter to match which is sunny and which is windy. Once that's done, I return the results to this place, which then displays it here. So for example, rainy, it passes that rainy filter to this, get all the 20 cities, find the filter, and then displays it there. Just quick pause before we continue. If you're enjoying the video, make sure you like and subscribe. The code is currently on GitHub, so to access the code, you can just click on my profile, click on GitHub, and then you should see the repository named 100-project. You click on it, and then you should see the whole code there. So you just click on day one or any day you want to access, click on it, and then you should see it there. Anyways, let's get back into the video. Then this get weather function is responsible for this button. So how this works is that when I click on this button, it calls this function. It first gets the user input, then check if the user actually has an input. If it doesn't, we don't do anything. So let me just show you. So if I just say this, nothing, just displays please enter a city. Else, it then makes an API call to this point. It gets the results, and the results that we're looking for from this API call are the coordinates of a country or a city. Reason being is that comparers only understands number, and the coordinates are able to like point out what part or what place on earth that city is. So we try to get the coordinates. If the coordinates are not available, we just say we cannot find the city. because this is the coordinates that we're going to be used to get the actual data and live weather for that city. Once we get the coordinates, we then make another API call to this, and this is where we're going to be using the coordinates that we've just gotten from this API call to find the live weather for those cities. So best way to explain this is that we understand it by words, computers understand it by coordinates. The coordinates are like numbers that point out where so place is. So once we've done that, we then get the response from the second API call. So what I'm going to do right now is just print out what it looks like, so that you guys can understand what all of that does. So let me just run it again. I'll just hook here and then run it again. So when I run it again, and I'll just type in like a city, so London, and then I click on get weather. If I come here, I'm able to see this result. So I'm just going to copy this result and then paste it here. So one thing you need to understand is that the response that we're going to be getting are stored in dictionary, and essentially what we're going to be doing here is just accessing each data in that dictionary. Cool. So to access a dictionary, we're going to be doing this. We're going to be calling the name of this variable data, and then typing the name of the key, which is current. So just think of it like this. We're going to this place here, and then we're trying to find this key here inside this one. So this one inside this one is this one, and the value is 21. Same thing with that one, same thing with those ones. After accessing those datas, then we display them. So to summarize everything that we've done, these are my global variables that I use in the app. This is the GUI setup that is in charge of what everything looks like and where everything is. These two functions work hand in hand. So this one is in charge of assigning like a value, like an emoji to like a value, while this one is in charge of passing that value to this function. These two are in charge of this part. So essentially all these four functions work together. How it works is that I click on this button, it comes here, it then calls this function to find if the category was sunny, windy, rainy, whatever. Once I'm done, I then pass that value to this one, which then displays it here. And then this function is in charge of actual retrieving for the big entry box and all these ones here. So that's it for today's video. I'm gonna put the list here again just to show you that these are the first 10 projects I'm gonna be doing. So project 1 is done. If you enjoyed this video, just comment down what project you want to see me do next. See you guys next week.